Is the situation dire with Puma? Let's analyze it together, and also the takeover. Read the disclaimer right here in the video description below, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more content like this. And here we go, we're gonna see the breaking news because it's insane. We're talking about like what happened because in 2022 it was making new highs every time. And right now the situation is worse than ever. It's minus 82% from those levels back in November 2021. And the things, are right now critical. We're talking about that ever since the leadership changes in November 2022, Arne Fredon, I don't know if I pronounced correctly, was appointed CEO of Puma. They are still struggling in terms of profitability and growth. Over the last couple of years, Puma has faced declining demand, heightened competition, especially from rivals, and macro headwinds, including unfavorable dynamics in consumer spending, inventory buildup, and trade tariff pressures. When all this is creating a very negative environment for the company. So also weaker results and profit warnings everywhere. So that was critical. When we're talking about negative surprise factors like these ones, every time you see an E right here in red, it means that there is like a negative surprise factor. The reported earnings were worse than the expectations, and normally that creates like a huge downtrend, especially like this, because we're talking about surprise factor of minus 35%. Minus 3%, this is more normal. Minus 19, minus 100, this is like, it's completely insane, Every time it happens, the stock drops dramatically, And the key question here is like, okay, it's minus 82%, but it's still a big company. Is it a good time to invest? Let's analyze it together. And actually, we're gonna see, what the insider is getting, because right now, we're talking about people within the company are buying the stock. And right now, as you can see, and last year they are buying at this bottom, every time it creates, a new downtrend and it hits the bottom, they buy it right there. That's the way to do it, It's like smart investors tend to buy the stocks like in those moments. And the situation right here, the positions are not very incredible. We're talking about 40,000, 100,000, 33,000, something like that. It's not 1 million. I saw many other companies buying the stock with 1 million, things like that. People in the company. But these management board members, maybe they are not as rich as others, as the CEO maybe. But the thing here is like they're purchasing the stock at this particular area. And this is relevant, because we are talking about that they are believing in the stock. The situation right now is bad, but it's not going to be bad forever. In order to assess if it makes sense, to that assumption, we have to go back to the chart. And we're going to see, I would say, the forecast, because the forecast is very important. We go to the forecast and we have Wall Street analysts covering the stock, 21 in particular, and we're talking about the average of them. They think the stock should go up more than 8%. The most optimistic one, more than 100%. That's interesting. But the critical information right here is EPS forecast. The last quarter of 2025 is going to be actually horrible. Probably this is the reason why the stock is going down still. And then after that, this is where things get interesting, because the forecast it tends to get better every time. Look at that. In the third quarter of 2023. Of 2026, it's expected to have the stock into profits again, and this is important. It didn't happen since the fourth quarter of 2024. This is kind of relevant, and the most interesting thing is like by the end of 2027, good profits, not huge, but good profits, and by the end of 2028, very good profits, not similar to the ones seen back in 2024. And still, this is surprising because at this time, look at this, the EPS was good, the net income was good. It was dropping, but it was good. And there was like a huge overreaction right here, as you can see it. Probably because this was like some sort of a bubble. But as you can see, in other areas, in other sectors such as the AI sector, you can see they are making new highs right now, and it doesn't make any sense sometimes, except for Nvidia. And this is important, because that creates an opportunity. At this particular level, I would say it's a good opportunity after this quarter, because the upcoming quarter is going to be really bad, and the expectations are very, very low, negative. I prefer to buy the stock when it's in profits. If I see we're going to have like a negative net income in the next quarter, I just don't buy it. I prefer to wait. When I see that the expectations are going to be positive territory in net income, I will buy it. Obviously, these are very good levels. And there is another thing. This and we're talking about this takeover that we have right now. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's happening, because as late of November 2025, multiple media reports suggest that anti-sports products in China, possibly alongside private equity, is exploring a bid to acquire Puma. It didn't happen yet, but there are rumors. All potential interest suitors reportedly include China's Li-Ning Company Limited and Japan's ASIC Corporation. So why the interest? Because obviously I would say the interest is like the price is very low. It's super low. We're talking about they currently have a market cap of less than 3 billion for a brand like Puma. It's surprising for me. It's very surprising. So the thing is, like, despite the current woes, it remains a globally recognized heritage sportswear brand. So for Asian players seeking global footprint, brand equity, Western distribution, and premium pricing power, Puma becomes an attractive target. And that's key, because obviously Puma buyers, European people, it's like American, they have more purchasing powers, generally speaking. So obviously they buy this brand. By just look at the market cap of 3 million, it's ridiculous for some companies. They buy it and then they get the profits in overall along with the other brands that they have. So obviously it's a good strategy. It makes sense. So, but nothing is finalized yet. The rumors are still described as exploratory. So formal bids haven't been publicly confirmed. So according to reports, part of the issue is valuation. The largest shareholder, they're holding like 29%. Reportedly doesn't want to sell at current prices. So the takeover speculation had real effect on sentiment. In one session, Puma shares spiked 13% or 18% after this report, which is the last one that we are watching right now. This incredible upturn we are seeing from November, end of November. Wow, they're talking about actually 26% release, which is insane. So what's gonna happen? We'll see. But leave your comments below, and also share your just comment on YouTube on the video description, and let us know what you think about the situation of Puma. See you in the next one.